I was 15 when my dad passed away. I still miss his cooking. My dad came from a family of 9 kids, so I had lots of cousins. They'd come over to our house every Sunday, and my dad would make crepes. We lived in a small town. I was the only girl of 3 children. I have 2 brothers. We played kick the can, went camping outside, and had fun. After Dad died, we moved to the Sault. My mom went to college, worked 3 jobs, and struggled raising us on her own. We never got to see her, maybe 2 hours a day, then she'd go to bed. So we were at home by ourselves. Then my mom found a guy and moved in with him. He already had a daughter. By that time, I had started hanging out with bad people in grade 9, experimenting with drugs and smoking. I was skipping school to get high. My mom's guy got her to kick me out, so I moved in with hippies and dropped out of school. I was 18. I used the YMCA's STEP program to find a job at a little cafe. I worked there for 2 years. The people my boyfriend and I lived with were druggies, needle junkies, cokeheads, and alcoholics. There was never food in the house. I got pregnant and miscarried at 4.5 months. Found out I had cervical cancer, and they took half my cervix out. I wasn't supposed to be able to get pregnant again. I started smoking marijuana, experimenting with cocaine, ecstasy, and crack. We'd stay at a place for a month, and then we'd bounce to a different place, or he would do something stupid and we would get kicked out. I began stealing money from work from my drug habit, which I am not proud of. I was also supporting my boyfriend's habit. I began getting sick. There was no way I could be pregnant. I went for testing. Sure enough, I was pregnant. I quit everything. Drugs, alcohol, everything. Asked my brother if I could move in with him, because I didn't want to be living in the crack house. I was still dating the father, but he was living at that house and doing drugs. He started working to put money aside for our own apartment. We eventually moved in together. On our first night in the apartment, I started bleeding. I had to have surgery and was put on bed rest for the rest of my pregnancy. I had to quit my job. During my pregnancy, my boyfriend was high all the time, in and out of the apartment at different times of the night. We fought a lot. He verbally and emotionally abused me. He ended up incarcerated for stealing or something. I gave birth to my son 4 days after he went to jail. He eventually got out, but was incarcerated again shortly after. I was alone. A friend suggested I should check out the LEAP program for mothers under 25 years of age. I met with a worker from Ontario Works, filled out an application, and enrolled in school. The program offered me daycare, parenting classes where I learned to cook and how to do crafts. LEAP takes you from the day you walk through the doors all the way through, and you get a GED and finish high school. Everyone used to say I was too stupid to finish school or ever go to college. I am proving them wrong. I'm clean and a good mom. I'm graduating high school and going to college in the fall for physiotherapy. I fought for full custody of my son, which I now have. I have accomplished more this year than I had the 4 years that I was with my boyfriend. I have lots of goals. I'm excited to work Monday to Friday and make money. I'd like to buy a house and a car and say that the stuff is mine and I didn't have to depend on Ontario Works to pay for it. I'm grateful for what they did for me, but I will be off assistance next month. I've built a good relationship with my worker. She's the best. You can cry in front of her and she won't judge. She was always willing to help and guide me. If it doesn't work out, she tries again. I've never met anyone as dedicated as she is. She steps out of her comfort zone to help you out. Once I get off assistance, I will still go see her. When I've graduated college and I start a full-time job, my son will be 4. He's my miracle baby. I don't want him to ever go down the drug path. I wish he would never have to deal with losing a parent. I want all the good for him. I want anything to be possible for him. My son is the reason I wake up every day. He was the moment everything changed for me.